Hi everyone, welcome to our online youth service. We are so happy to have you here. This video is going to run slightly different to our normal ones. We're going to have different segments running through. So we're going to start off with an interview with one of our young people, Ella. Then Jess is going to do a reading from a book that's really been helping her through lockdown. Then we're going to jump back to Ella with a fantastic, beautiful poem that she's written herself. And then you will join me again and I will go over a little thought of the day. So hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm so glad that you can be here as part of our youth service today. We are here with Ella and we're just going to do a little interview about coronavirus and her experience in lockdown. So Ella, thank you for being part of our interview today.
No problem.
Okay,
So Ella, as a fellow diabetic, how are you coping with lockdown?
I'm coping pretty well with it. I mean, I've been able to get all of my medication and I haven't really had any issues with it. I've had my usual highs and lows, but nothing on the major side.
What has God been teaching you during lockdown?
Taught me a lesson in patience. And he's really been encouraging me to pick up my Bible a lot more. So through all of this, it's come across as, Elle, you need to kind of be thinking about prayer and all of that sort of stuff. And through that, it's made me realise how big faith is in my life. So, and if faith wasn't a big part of my life, where would it be?
that's a really good answer.
Excellent answer that.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
How has lockdown affected your relationship with God?
It's made me pray. It made me very prayerful about it. That's why my prayer life has been going. It's been going up.
I feel really encouraged by this. Like everything you're saying is just really great, and it's just really fantastic to hear that you've been really relying on God, you know, especially when
I mean,
the
the power is out of my hands with this. So, in one sense, and obviously because I have no control over it. So, it's like I'm handing it over to God.
That's so good, because some people panic, don't they, when they know that they don't have the power. They either sort of deny it and try to convince themselves that they've got loads of power in this and they can do what they want, or give up because they feel powerless. But you've been putting your faith and trust in God, and that's the best thing you can do. So good on you, girl. That's awesome.
Thanks for listening to this interview, and I hope this has been really encouraging to those who maybe have lost all hope in sitting at home, and I hope you feel encouraged by this.
I read from a book called 3-Minute Devotion for Teen Girls. I have picked two that I liked and have encouraged me during these times. There is a Bible verse, real life application, and a prayer at the end. The first page I'm reading is called Joy, Patience and Prayer. Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. Romans chapter 12, verse 12. Before there was water faucets, people would go outside and use a pump to draw water from the ground. When you're thirsty, you do what needs to be done to satisfy your thirst. Joy draws from the well of hope. Patience is produced through trial. Prayer is grown through consistency. You'd think that joy comes from doing things that make you happy, but joy runs much deeper than happiness. Joy can be experienced on bad days, in the middle of heartbreak, and when things are at their worst. The reason this is true is that joy is energized by the hope that there will be a time when difficulties will be a thing of the past. Patience is needed for joy to thrive, because the hope that we had is all about the future. Our hope brings joy, but hope needs patience. Patience only comes by facing tough challenges. The final connected layer is prayer. When we agree to pray regularly, we have access to the God who gave us hope, develops patience, and inspires joy. Let the rejoicing begin. Now I'm going to read the prayer. Dear God, you want me to remember that joy is something you can enhance through the struggles I face. This doesn't seem like good news. I like it when things are easy. Give me the patience to hope, and the hope that inspires joy. May this prayer be a good start. Amen. So this is my second page I'm going to read for you. It's called God's Presence. When I felt my feet slipping, you came with your love and keep me steady. And when I was burdened with worries, you comforted me and made me feel secure. Psalms chapter 94, verse 18 to 19. Sometimes I just freak out, maybe because I'm running late, or I forgot to do something, or I left behind something important, or all of the above. Sometimes I can work myself into a real tizzy. My mom is great during my freak out moments. Her gentle hand on my shoulder and calming reassurance helps me slow down, take some deep breaths and stay cool. If I turn to God in my freak out moments, I pay attention. I often feel his reassurance hand on my shoulder too. He'll remind me of his presence through a sunset, an encouraging phone call, a Bible verse, or a sense of peace. Jesus is always with us, catching our elbow we slip, reassuring us when we are overwhelmed with worry. When you freak out, where does God show you his hints of reassurance? Now I'm going to say a prayer for you. Jesus, thanks for steadying me with your love and firm grip on my life when I'm freaking out. Thanks for comforting me when I'm worried and helping me feel secure when I feel like things are falling apart. And thanks for making your presence known to me in a little ways that make me smile. Amen.
You gave me a life I don't deserve, a life I'm not worthy of. You gave yours so I could have mine. I thank you for the good. I praise you in the bad. I thank you for right now. I thank you for my future. Society says I have to look, act, and desert everything to fit in. I believed that at one point, but looked to the skies and saw. Who you and I see are probably very different. You see who's inside, and I see the outside.
So, as you may have picked up so far, the theme for this service is COVID-19 lockdown, and that is the theme that the young people have chosen. And when I was thinking about a little message for the day, what really struck me from looking at the young people, listening to them, speaking to them, is about where they have chosen to put their trust through this time, through this uncertainty. We are living in a time when everything that we thought that we could live, we're living in a time where everything that we thought that we could rely and depend on day to day has really been exposed for its fragility. Jobs, relationships, friendships, basic food shopping, leisure activities, travel, healthcare, church, all of these things and so many more have really been shown to not be as reliable as we once thought. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 to 6 is almost cliche at this point, Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Blah, 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 blah. We've heard it so many times. We get it. But do we? Because let's ask ourselves the question, what actually is our understanding? If you asked us this question back at the beginning of March, we might have said that we understand that jobs give us employment security and financial security. Relationships and friendships provide emotional security. Supermarkets provide nourishment. Leisure provides entertainment. Travel provides freedom. Church provides spiritual security. And healthcare provides physical security. But what happens when these things are taken away? We used to behave and we used to believe like we needed these things in society to survive. We needed the way that we have designed the world to live. That was our understanding. And the verse in Proverbs doesn't condemn us for having an understanding and for seeking that, but it does say don't lean on it. And during these times, I think we're being shown why that's the case. Now, we can gain a lot of understanding from the phrase, you don't know what it's got till it's gone. However, I think in this case, that phrase is actually not very accurate, because in this case, the design for normal living has gone. It has been taken through lockdown, and we have to look at what we're left with. Now we can see what we're left with without all of those daily needs. But it's not as the phrase suggests. The phrase, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, suggests that we actually are not left with very much. But in this case, with God, we are left with so much that we were so distracted by, we didn't even notice it was there. We are left with God. When we peel back the things that we have been depending on, food shops, friendships, church buildings, church services, what are we left with? We are left with God. At times like this, we may be tempted to understand that if things are this bad, God must have no control. If things are this bad, God must not be that loving. If things are this bad, God must not be that powerful. That would be a logical thing for human brains to understand and to put together. But we are called to be humble. So let's just take a moment to be humble and have a think and have a research at how God might be using this time for his glory, for his good, because he is in control, he is powerful, he is all loving. Number 1, some statistics. In March, the top English language Bible on Google Play and App Store was installed more than 2 million times. In April, one of the largest UK bookstores, Eden, had seen physical Bible sales rise more than 55%. And more generally, Google searches for prayer and Christianity have skyrocketed. Secondly, 2 of our young people have chosen to be baptised. This is a really amazing one for me. It's been a big lesson for me because I'm out here making a lot of YouTube videos for the youth, as you may know, and it's really easy for me to think that that means that I have loads of control in how many views the videos get. I can control the quality of the videos. But I had nothing to do with these young people coming to this decision. I didn't know they were thinking about it that seriously. So it's been a big message to me that I need to just pipe down a bit and remember who's in control here, because there's a spirit that's out there still working in young people's lives, still helping people to make mature faith decisions. And thank goodness, because the spirit is clearly doing a very good job. Number 3, as you would have just seen from my interview with Ella, she has been relying on prayer to get her through these times. And what an amazing thing to fall back on. God is teaching us what we can rely on when the things we thought we could rely on have broken down. God and prayer are consistent in our lives, no matter what society is doing, no matter the design that we have fabricated is up and running or it's broken. We always have prayer. We always have communication with our God. So we talked a lot about understanding, but the original verse begins with trust in the Lord with all your heart. But for many of us, we've been putting our trust in the things of this world that we've been fabricating. We can trust what we understand as humans, but our understanding is so limited. This is the problem. If we only trust what we understand, we're not going to get very far. We're going to live very, very small lives because our brains just aren't that big to comprehend what God is doing. So here is a final question for you. Think about your own understanding of how you need to live. Think about your spiritual needs, physical needs, emotional needs, mental needs. Where does your dependency come from? Does it come from societal design or God? And what changes need to happen to make sure that you are trusting in the understanding God has given you and not in earthly design? Thank you for joining us for our youth service today. I hope you have enjoyed it and you feel encouraged. Please be really open and bold with your encouragements to the young people. It's quite a big step for them going on YouTube and stepping out in their faith and being so honest about it with the world. So do be encouraging them and lifting them up. And I hope you have a great week. Bye.